Hi guys, how is everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you're all good. You've had a fantastic Sunday. You're ready to learn a little bit about the world around you. Because that's the idea here tonight, right? Is to learn as much as we can. Hi guys. Sorry. Hopefully it's not marked private and y'all can get in without too much incidents. So we're here. We survived. Anyway, this is Dinosaurs in my collection. I feel like I've done this already, but I don't know if I did or didn't. I sort of suspect that I didn't, but we're going to get into it without too much delay. I just want to say that we are at 91 subscribers on this channel. So, woohoo! Thank you guys. So, wow. We're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to be looking at all of the dinosaurs, as well as some of the not dinosaurs that we're going to be looking at tonight. So the first one is Diplodocus. This is an older version. That's his head. That's the body. He is on the bigger side, as you can see. Which is, you know, a good thing that he's so big, because they would have been big. Now, he is what we call a sauropod. Sauropods are characterized by the big old heads, big old long necks, and they walk on 4 feet. Now, just because a dinosaur walks on all fours does not mean that it is a sauropod. So, this is Apatosaurus. This is the dinosaur that used to be called Brontosaurus. He's also a pretty chunky dinosaur. So we're going to do this ever so slowly. Okay. Hold on, because I want to do something real quick. Just really, really quick, if I can. If y'all will let me. Not like you have a choice, because I'm the host. So the next animal would have predated, I believe, dinosaurs. Again, I could be wrong. But yeah. Hold that question for just a second. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna try popping in and out. Bye. Okay. There I am. I want to share. I want to copy this. And then we're going to come over here. And we're going to switch accounts. I'm going to try doing something I haven't done in a while. And we're going to advertise come on, I don't have all day. Okay, so why did their name change? Well, so basically, it goes like this. In 1870, Brontosaurus was first found in the United States. In the 1870s, right? The name Brontosaurus was changed to Apatosaurus because the first name was published first, following the rules of scientific nomenclature. In 1903, Elmer Riggs proposed that the two dinosaurs were actually the same species. So there already was an Apatosaurus, but what they did is they found a Brontosaurus, and they named it Brontosaurus, and then they found an Apatosaurus, or a dinosaur that they named Apatosaurus. Well, Upon further inspection, they decided that, wait a minute, these are the same animal. What do we do? Oh my gosh. And so they decided that they were going to stick with so I'm not sure Brontosaurus may be back. It may be the name that we're going with. So, depending upon who you talk to, Brontosaurus may be back. It may not be. But yeah. So that's the thing. Not much of an answer, but that's what I understood about it. I may have to. Well, I think they may have gone back to it. The skeletons of Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus are very similar to each other, other than general proportions, are mainly distinguished by detailed differences in the neck, back, and shoulder bones. These differences are only clear when you're able to examine a large number of different skeletons to see how these features vary from animal to animal. This research, published in 2015, was only possible because a number of new Diplodocus dinosaurs have been found in recent decades. So they were studying this group of animals, and 81 specimens from different collections around the world looked at 477 anatomical traits. Scientists ultimately decided that Brontosaurus was distinct from Apatosaurus, and one of the main differences being that Apatosaurus was more massive and robust with a thicker and lower set neck than Brontosaurus. So, there you go. There are really two dinosaurs that make up those two animals. So Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus, it's sounding like are two distinct animals. So now, basically, Brontosaurus and Apatosaurus, apparently, according to that study, are two different dinosaurs, not just one. So this is Pachycephalosaurus. Very cool dinosaurs. It's believed that these guys rammed heads in order to select to fight for mates. There are different species within this group. This is just one of them. Not a huge fan of this model. Just saying. He's there, but yeah. Could really be a different take. This, I believe, is a pterodon. These guys are not dinosaurs. These guys are not dinosaurs. They are they are a flying reptile. The scale on him is about 130. It has a ratio of 1 to 30. And very much sort of like a bat almost, except that the bones not funny, Carol. Talking about your comment in the other. It means thick-headed lizard. So Pachy is thick, Cephla is head. So thick-headed lizard. Saurus being lizard. So when we say pachyderm, like you hear like the pachyderm house, it's thick skin. So these guys are flying reptiles. The skin on their wings goes from the feet to the arms. And you can see the bone. Some of these guys got quite huge. I did want questions. I did want questions, and I answered it. Pachyderm. Well, pachy means thick skin. Or pachy means thick. And I don't know if that's Latin or Greek, but pachy means skin. Or, sorry, I'm getting confused. Pachy is thick. So, and derm on a pachyderm means skin. So when you put it together, let's see. Okay, so pachy is one word. Whoops, not peachy. No. Pachy is thick. Cephla equals head. Saurus equals lizard. So you put those together and you get Pachycephalosaurus, or Pachy equals thick, derm equals skin. So thick skin. Now Dimetrodon here. Okay. Hello oh, that's me. Never mind. Dimetrodon is not a dinosaur. He is a reptile, more or less, that would eventually lead to mammals. Now, we don't know exactly why the sail is there. It could be for heat regulation. It could be for display. It could be for courting. But these guys would have been pretty close to an apex predator. At the time that they existed. Dinosaurs are, it's a little bit like an insect is an arthropod, but not all arthropods are insects. Sort of like a hawk is a bird, but not all birds are hawks. But to call dinosaurs lizards, they're not really lizards, though they definitely fit into that family. Let's see if I can do this another way. Family tree. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So we're gonna get scientific here. So in our classification system, which is the Linnaean, animals are grouped based on characteristics. So a reptile has scales and is cold-blooded, for the most part. And reptiles are based on groups. Crocodilians, snakes, lizards, and turtles, right? Now, we have that. So birds have, it is believed that birds, that we have dinosaurs. I don't know why I'm writing this because you can't see it. We have dinosaurs. And at some point, we have the theropods, right? Now they are my understanding is that dinosaurs like this, where there's two legs, they have two legs, right? They, at some point, split. And there's a common ancestor for the birds. If we're talking scientifically. Okay? Now there's also a split off for the reptiles. And birds are actually a split off of that. So if you look at birds, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians, I'm not going to write it all out, but reptiles and birds actually have some history. But let's get to your question. So, birds are more closely related to crocodiles. Now, to understand that, we have to look into history. So 40 million years ago, there's a group called the therapsids. I will put that into the description. Or into the live. So it's this group of dinosaurs it's that group of dinosaurs that that we begin to see some stuff happening. So we have this group, and they are the therapsids, and it's that group, the therapsids, if I'm pronouncing it right. And these actually split off from the other reptiles, and they become mammals. Other group of reptiles split off over the next 120 million years and are called archosaurs. I know, but we're gonna, you asked, so we're gonna cover it. So let me go with that. So, and this group, these archosaurs, they are very, very successful. And it's these animals, the archosaurs, that are very, very successful. Okay? And archosaurs are the ancestors of our dinosaurs. And our crocodiles. But they're only distantly related to our snakes, lizards, and turtles. And they split off at different times. So over that time, some of the dinosaurs got feathers. And we don't know why they got feathers, but they did. So feathers came on the scene. Around 65 million years ago, we had a big event take place. And it wiped out dinosaurs. Except, so we have archosaurs, or archosaurs, except for some feathered ones. So dinosaurs, and then you get this die-off. With some dinosaurs still being in existence. And it's this group of animals, these feathered dinosaurs, that over the next 65 million years, so these feathered dinosaurs over a span of 65 million years, that scientists believe is where we get our birds. And if you look at, yes, I'm going to do this. Because I don't have anything else to compare it to. If you look at this, which is the cassowary, and you were to go in and look at an x-ray, just looking at the pelvic girdle, and the pelvic girdle of, say, a velociraptor, you would find that there's a very close similarity. Very, very close similarity. And that is where the split off is. Now, alligators and crocodiles, they're somewhat related, but there is a split off. And so, yeah. I don't have a thing to show you. I was hoping to be able to show you an actual diagram of the split. Okay, so maybe this is what I want. Okay. So you have, I don't know if you can see this, you have dinosaurs like T-Rex. And then you have, eventually, over millions upon millions upon millions of years, tons of stuff start happening. And eventually, the dinosaurs get a little bit smaller. And you can see right about where my thumb is, right here. That is where the feathers start coming in. And then ever so slowly, we get the birds. So there is a common ancestor in there. But things like T-Rex and a few others, yeah. And so if it wasn't for the T-Rex, you would not have birds. So I hope that answers your question as good. So, and then you asked why do we call them lizards? You also have to remember that at the time that we at the time that we were naming these things, we didn't have a sound we didn't have a sound knowledge of what exactly we were looking at. We knew they were big. We knew they were reptiles, but we maybe didn't know exactly where they fit in. Oh, sorry. So the reason that we call them lizards is we really didn't know where they fit in, right? So they're not really lizards in the sense that a hawk is not a hummingbird. They're still a bird, but they're not a hummingbird. Dinosaurs are a reptile, but they're not a lizard. So a lizard, let me get a lizard. Hopefully I can find them. Okay. Okay. That's okay. So you asked about lizards and why a lizard is not a reptile. Okay, so you notice, first off, his legs, okay? They come out the side, right? They're not underneath the body. They come right out the side of the body. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. They're not actually coming they're not under the body. I don't even know how well it shows on him. On him, it's a little bit hard to see. No, this is not. This is based on anatomy. So it would be really hard to say that we can now go in with computers and we can look at anatomy in a way that we couldn't back then. So you can see his back leg is not coming from underneath the body. Okay? Definitely not coming out from underneath the body. It's coming out from the side. Even the front legs are on the side of the body, not underneath the body. If you look at him, his body and the feet are not coming out the side. They're below the body. They're supported like an elephant would be. The body and the legs are beneath each other. Even on the big guys. They're not coming out from the side. They're coming down and the body is supported by the legs. Now I know there's a lot of feathers here. Oh shoot. For a second there I thought that leg was broken. The feet, it not like this. Not like this. That's clearly different than this. They're not coming right off the side. So as these guys are walking, they're not again, and that's one of the things I don't like about the big one. I like this one better. If you look at those front legs, they're coming out from the side. If you look, there's a piece of bone that comes out from the body to a joint and then down. Same with this one. That bone is tucked in and then down. On the back legs, it comes out and then down. Whereas with the dinosaurs, that leg goes straight from the body and down. There isn't a bone that sticks out. Same thing with him. If you look, there's a bone that comes off, and it comes to a joint and then down. It's like our arms, right? We have that shoulder blade here. We have our bone here. Our two bones, actually. No. We have one bone here, and then we have two bones in our forearm. And then we have our wrist here, and we have our thumbs, or our thumb and our fingers. Their body goes straight down. Even his. There's no bones that come out from the body. I don't know if I'll be able to draw it or not. Not very well anyway, but we're going to try. I'm going to draw a stick figure lizard. And it's not going to look anything like a lizard, but and this is going to look more like a horse than a... Okay, so look, this is as good as I can do, Carol. This would be a modern lizard. You have the legs coming off the side and then down. With a dinosaur, the legs go straight down from the shoulder blade straight down. That's as good as I can explain it. That's the way they explained it online, so I'm going with it. Also, another difference is dinosaurs in their hip socket. There's a hole in their hip socket that allowed them to stand up straight. Dinosaurs, for whatever reason, don't have that. I think at the time that we called them dinosaurs, we didn't know what they were. We might have called them dinosaurs just to make it make sense. Because again, you got to remember that at one point we thought that dinosaurs were dragons. Obviously, that's not the case. So, with modern day equipment, we can go in once we have established how they would have stood. We can then go into a computer and make a computer model, and we can come up with how they walked, their gait, pretty accurately. So these guys, this is an Allosaurus. They were at one point the apex predator, or one of the apex predators of its time. He is a theropod, meaning that he walks on two legs. These guys could open their mouth really, really wide. They could not, though, take a direct bite out of you. And so what they would do, not that these animals were around then, I'm not claiming that, they would reach down, they would grab a bite, and then yank. No, this is not, he is not, he, no. It is, they are theropod. No. So, anatomically, they have, they're in that same family. Okay? They both walk on two legs. That makes them theropods, but they are different predators. Yes, he is. But just to give you an example, okay? Again, let me give you an example. Let me think. I'm trying to think of an example. So thank you. So we have two cats. We have a lion and we have a cheetah. The lion is in a different group than the cheetah. Now they are both cats. There's no doubt about that, right? So basically the way this works is we're going to talk about differences between these guys. So they're both cats, but they're not closely related. So these guys, and I'm not going to be able to spell it. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. So cheetahs belong in the ACINO. Okay, so you have that. Whoops. And lions are in. So they're in two different genuses. But we're going to back that up a little bit more. And you find out that cheetahs are in a different subfamily. And their subfamily is Felinae. So that is the cheetah. That's the group that cheetahs are in. Okay? So there are some differences between these two. Okay? So the cheetah, even though it's a cat, it can't retract its claws. It has non-retractable claws. So sort of like your cat has claws that she can go like this to you. She can decide if she wants to scratch you or play with you. And sometimes they'll even play with their claws out. But a cheetah can't do that. A lion can choose to have claws out or claws in. Now, he's also in the same family as leopards. A cheetah can purr. Lions can roar. A cheetah cannot roar. Lions came from two lineages that split 70,000 years ago. These guys are descended from a small number of animals that remained after the Pleistocene. And they're actually more closely related to, believe it or not, pumas and another cat called jaguarundis. It's the same idea with these two. Allosaurus came first, and then T-Rex. They're in two different groups that split off. So this and this are two different animals. This is where birds came from, is the T-Rex side of the family. Whereas these guys, yeah, not so much. So this is one family, this is another family. And these guys are more closely related to birds. I don't know if that makes sense at all or not. But Allosaurus, different angled mouth. He's able to get in there, bite, and instead of just ripping it off, he has to put some power behind it and blonk. And he throws his head back, and that's how he eats. Very similar to how a peregrine falcon might eat. They grab it and yank. And that's how he would eat. A T-Rex has a much stronger bite force, and he would go down, take the bite, and then swallow. And it's actually believed that T-Rex probably at some point might have had feathers. Now this is an animal called Torosaurus. You'll notice on him there are many different species within this group. Okay? Many different species. This is a Triceratops. You can see the shield is off the neck. Okay? With the Torosaurus, the shield is much tighter to the neck. They still have those 3 horns, 1 on the head, 2 on the upper part. He has the same thing going on. They're positioned a little bit differently. But these guys would be probably related at some level. And then we have Stegosaurus. Now, movies might have you think that T-Rex and Stegosaurus were around together. No. Allosaurus, on the other hand, yes. And we know that because we have found spots where the tail spikes have penetrated the body of the Allosaurus and nicked the bone. And vice versa. So these guys, we don't know the actual use for the fins, but what we do know is that these guys, well, we don't know. They could have been used for thermal regulation, letting go of heat. They might have been used for display purposes during mating. So, yeah. We have one more, and that is Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus was in Africa. We think it might have been for armor. Spinosaurus, we have sort of an interesting history. They were found in Africa, in an area sort of that is now mostly desert. At the time, would not have been desert. It would have been very lush, very wet. These guys were dinosaurs, but they were the most aquatic of dinosaurs. They had a very crocodile-like mouth that probably would have hunted fish. Now, they might have also scavenged. These guys would have been bigger than a T-Rex. Not as strong of a bite force as T-Rex, but they would have been bigger. And I'm at 15% of my power right now, so we're going to really quickly wrap this up as quickly as I can so that I don't end up dying on you guys. Let's see. So we just did dinosaurs in my collection. Yeah, I know. It's our next live on this channel is going to be Thursday, September 12th at 7 p.m. It's going to be a conservation spotlight on the ring-tailed lemur. And then that Sunday, which will be September 15th, will be North America in my collection. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Peace out. And remember to never give up on yourself and always keep learning. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.